wait long. It's imprudent, we know, but without your society, existence was slow and we wanted variety. Existence was slow and we wanted variety. Yes, we wanted variety. So here we are at the risk of our lives, and we brought your wives into that end, we've crossed the main, and we don't intend to return again.
Tessa,
Giuseppe, Marco,
Gianetta.
after sailing to this island, tossing in and out of frightful, we are all once more on dry land, and we find the change delightful. As at home we've been remaining, we've not seen you both for ages. Tell me, are you fond of reigning? How's the fun and what's the wage? Does your new employment please you? How does royalizing strike you? Is it difficult or easy? Do you think your subjects like you? I am anxious to elicit, is it plain and easy steering? Take it all together, is it better fun than Gondoliers? We shall both go on requesting till you tell us, never doubt it, everything is interesting. Tell us all about it.
They will both go on requesting till you tell them, never doubt it, everything is interesting. Tell us all about it.
Is the populace exacting? Do they keep you at a distance? All unaided are you acting? Or do they provide assistance? When you busy, have you got to get up early in the morning? If you do what you ought not to do, they give the usual warning. With the horse do they equip you? Lots of trumpeting and drumming. Do the royal tradesmen tip you? In the livery becoming? Does your human being interfere on everything that's nice? Do they give you wine for dinner, bitches, sugar plums and dices? We shall both go on requesting till you tell us, never doubt it, everything is interesting. Tell us all about it.
They will both go on requesting till you tell them, never doubt it, everything is interesting. Tell us all about it.
We shall
They'll
both
go on requesting till you tell them, never doubt it, everything is interesting. Tell us all about it, everything is interesting. Tell us all about it, everything is interesting, everything is interesting. Tell us all about it, tell us all about it, tell us all about it.
Hi, my name is Ian Dorsch. I am co-director of the Grace Harbor Opera Workshop. Thank you so much for joining us for our first fully virtual performance. This is not the way that any of us would choose to be working, but we are deeply grateful to have the opportunity to present this music to you. Sprinkled throughout the program tonight are brief introductions by myself and a few of our soloists to give you context for the pieces. We strongly feel that this music is much more enjoyable if you understand how it works in the larger context of the piece. So to begin with, I would like to introduce this next duet. When we did the Magic Flute back in January of this year, which feels like a lifetime ago, we had to make some decisions about music to cut. The full production was just too much for us to prepare in the time that we had, so we had to slice and dice a little bit. And one of the pieces that we cut was a beautiful duet from Act 1 between the princess Pamina and the birdcatcher Papageno. In terms of the narrative, it's a little bit dicey. They're in the middle of a daring rescue, and then Papageno starts to feel bad for himself because he doesn't have a girlfriend, and Pamina stops to console him, and it's just weird. But the music is gorgeous. So here, presented largely without context, is the duet from Pamina and Papageno. Pamina is sung by Danielle Tobin, who was our Pamina in the January production. Our Papageno from that production was not available, but he is being very capably sung by Ben Fagerstedt. Hope you enjoy.
adventure through all creation here below. The noblest aim in mortal life is to be joined as man and wife, is to be joined as man and wife. Man and wife. And wife and man. Man and wife, when linked by love, rise to join the gods above. Man and wife, when linked by love, rise to join the gods above. Join the gods above. Join the gods
Hi, I'm Michael Fagerstedt. I'm a baritone bass currently studying at California State University, Fullerton. Today, I will be singing for you Come Paride vezzoso from the opera L'Elixir d'Amour by Donizetti. The translation for the opera is The Elixir of Love, which this opera is all about. A little bit of background about this opera. So this opera revolves around Nemorino, a poor peasant boy who is in love with Adina, the indifferent, wealthy landowner who pretends like Nemorino basically doesn't exist. Now, one day, Nemorino overhears Adina reading from her favorite book, Tristan und Isolde. This gives Nemorino an idea. He's going to get a magic love potion that makes Adina fall in love with her. Now, this doesn't turn out well for him later in the opera, but we're not there yet. So suddenly, a regiment comes up with Sergeant Belcore, my character, coming up. He notices Adina and immediately wants her. And this is what follows.
Come paride vezzoso, porse il pomo alla più bella, via diletta villanella, io ti porgo questi fior, ma di lui più glorioso, più di lui felice sono, poiché in premio del mio dono, poiché in premio del mio dono ne riporto il tuo bel cor. Vego chiaro in quel vicino ch'io fobreggia nel tuo petto. Non è cosa sorprendente, son galante e son sargente, non va bella che resista alla vista d'un cimiero, cede a Marte Dio guerriero, fila madre della morte, dea madre, Dio guerriero, fin la madre dell'amor, dea madre, Dio guerriero, fin la madre del amor.
One of our favorite operas, just collectively at the Grace Harbor College Opera Workshop, is Gian Carlo Menotti's Christmas opera Amahl and the Night Visitors. We did it about 3 years ago at the Bishop Center for the Performing Arts, and we look forward to the day when we can do it again, hopefully with many of you in the audience. But in the meantime, we thought that this might be a nice opportunity to present a selection. Our theme for the night is comedies. Amahl is not exactly a comedy, but it is a Christmas show, so we've got some relevant seasonal content there. The opera tells the story of a poor mother and her son Amahl, who is crippled and walks with a crutch, and they're visited by the three wise men, the three kings, who are stopping on their way to Bethlehem to see the Christ child. These men come bearing all these riches, all this wealth, while the mother and Amahl are living in such poverty. And in the quartet, the kings are singing rapturously about the child that they're going to meet. The mother is singing about a child too, but she's singing about her son, Amahl, and how no one will bring him incense or gold. So we hope that you enjoy this.
These beautiful things, and all that gold.
These are the gifts to the child.
The child? Which child?
We don't know, but the star will guide us to him.
But perhaps I know him. What does he look like?
Have you seen a child the color of wheat, the color of dawn? His eyes are mild, his hands are those of a king. As king he was born. Incense, myrrh, and gold we bring to his side, and the eastern star is our guide.
Yes, I know a child, the color of wheat, the color of dawn. His eyes are mild, his hands are those of a king. As king he was born, but no one will bring him incense or gold, though sick and poor and hungry and cold. He's my child, my son, my darling, my own.
Have you seen a child the color of earth, the color of thorn? His eyes are sad, his hands are those of the poor, as poor he was born. Incense, myrrh, and gold we bring to his side, we bring to his side. Eastern star is our guide. Eastern star is our guide.
Yes, I know a child, the color of earth, the color of thorn.
we see cold the seas and the winds on his palm, holds the winds on his palm.
The child we seek as the moon and the stars at his feet.
As the stars at his feet.
Before him the eagle is gentle, the lion is meek.
Choirs of angels hover over his roof and sing him to sleep. He's warmed by breath, he's fed by milk.
At his feet has my life.
Incense, myrrh, and gold we bring to his side, and the eastern star is above.
Hello, my name is Emma Dorsch. I am a senior at Aberdeen High School, a running start student at Grace Harbor College, and a member of the Seattle Opera Teen Vocal Studio. I will be singing Tornamia Vagheggiar by Handel from the opera Alcina. This opera, it revolves around the enchantress Alcina and her magic island in which she lures men, toys with them, gets bored, and then transforms them into literally anything that's not themselves. And Alcina has a little sister named Morgana, who is also an enchantress, but is incredibly naive. Like, she's lived on this island her entire life. She has, like, no worldly experience. And she falls in love with this man named Ricciardo, who shows up on her sister's island. And it's unrequited. She doesn't know, she doesn't care. And she finds out that her sister Alcina is gonna transform him. And so Morgana takes action, and she tells him to leave, and then she sings this aria, confessing her love to this man that she just met. So I hope you enjoy it.
Tornamia vagheggiar, te solo vuol amar, quest'anima fedel, caro mio bene, caro, tornamia vagheggiar, tornamia vagheggiar. ti dona il mio cor, già ti dona il mio cor, fido sarà il mio amor, mai ti sarò crudel, cara mia svene, mai ti sarò crudel, fido sarà il mio amor, mai ti sarò crudel, cara mia svene, cara mia svene. Tornami a vagheggiar, te solo vuol amar, quest'anima fedel, caro mio bene, caro, tornami a vagheggiar, tornami a vagheggiar. Te solo vuol amar, te solo vuol amar, quest'anima fedel, caro mio bene, te solo vuol amar, quest'anima fedel, caro mio bene, caro mio bene.
This next chorus comes from Jacques Offenbach's operetta Orpheus in the Underworld, which is a deeply, deeply cynical comedic retelling of the myth of Orpheus and Eurydice. In this scene, the gods are teaming up to bully Jupiter, who, it turns out, when he wants to impress a woman, tends to disguise himself as something else. So they all have a pretty good time making fun of him for that. When we prepared this, we asked our singers to indulge their imaginations and choose a Greek or Roman god or goddess that they could become for this, and people went pretty hard. So we hope you enjoy.
Pour séduire la fière, de pénétrer de son mari, je sais bien des femmes sortir pour qu'ils se débrouillent aussi. Oh, 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 ne peux plus d'avoir de l'or, connais tes faces et je parle. Oh, 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 ne peux plus d'avoir de l'or, te connais je parle. Oh, 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 ne peux plus d'avoir de l'or, connais tes faces et je parle. Oh, 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 ne peux plus d'avoir de l'or, te connais je parle. C'est de l'homme et mauvais là-bas que tu te servais de nouveau. Lorsque pendant les verres repas, tu pris les cornes d'adultère. Ne prends plus la porte là où qu'on était passé, je pars. Ne prends plus la porte là où t'es connu, je pars. Ne prends plus la porte là où qu'on était passé, je pars. Ne prends plus la porte là où t'es connu, je pars. Au plus un jour de tes ventres, puis c'était plié, t'es doré, sur les Jupin.
Oh, 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 oh. Ne brûle plus les patelins qu'on était forcés Jupin. Oh, 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 oh. Ne brûle plus les patelins qu'on est Jupin.
C'est notre que par un aigle qu'elle era sauve dans ses bras. C'était un corps gros et spiègle. J'étais la gueule, ne l'est pas. Ah, 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 ah. Ne brûle plus les patelins qu'on était forcés Jupin. Ah, 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 ah. Ne brûle plus les patelins tout qu'on est Jupin.
Oh, 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 oh. Ne brûle plus les patelins qu'on était forcés Jupin. Oh, 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 oh. Ne brûle plus les patelins qu'on est Jupin.
Que profonse metamorfosus que tu trouves si laid, que peut te faire aimer tout nos os, te montre tel que l'on t'a fait. Oh, 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 oh.
Ne brûle plus les patelins qu'on était forcés Jupin. Oh, 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 oh. Ne brûle plus les patelins qu'on est Jupin. Oh, 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 oh. Ne brûle plus les patelins qu'on était forcés Jupin. Oh, 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 oh. Ne brûle plus les patelins qu'on est Jupin.
Hello, my name is Danielle Tobin, a soprano from the Olympia area. You last saw me in the Grays Harbor College Opera Workshop's production of The Magic Flute, in which I played the role of Pamina. Today I'll be singing for you De Vieni non tardar from Mozart's Le Nozze di Figaro, also known as The Marriage of Figaro. We'll start with a quick recap of the opera until this point. We've met many characters, but the most important are the Count and Countess Almaviva, and Figaro and Susanna, the Count's valet and the Countess's maid, respectively. The Count has left his wife heartbroken due to his philandering ways, and he's now set his sights on Susanna, on the day of her wedding to Figaro. The Countess and Susanna hatch a plan to teach him a lesson by switching clothes and having the Countess attend an illicit rendezvous in Susanna's place. But in the process, Figaro finds out and begins to think his new wife is unfaithful to him. To also teach her new husband a lesson for doubting her, she sings an aria while the Countess pretends to be her, ruminating on her chance to be with her true beloved. I hope you enjoy De Vieni non tardar, or O come, do not delay.
Uscite dal mio petto, a turbar non venite il mio diletto. Oh, come par che all'amoroso fuoco l'amenità del loco, la terra e il cielo risponda.
Hi, my name is Ben Fagerstedt, and I am a baritone who studied at Aberdeen High School, Grays Harbor College, and Pacific Lutheran University, and I will be singing Non più andrai from Le Nozze di Figaro. And in this aria, Cherubino, who adores women, gets caught for his wrongdoing, and Figaro teases Cherubino about his military future, in stark contrast to the flirtatious and pleasant life he's lived in the Count's palace. So this means no more pretty makeup for Cherubino, no more dancing, and instead marching. And Figaro says this with confidence, and he is absolutely loving it. I hope you all enjoy. Thank you.
Non più andrai farfellone amoroso, notte giorno d'intorno girando, e le mele tremano il riposo, narcisetto aroncino d'amor. Delle mele tremano il riposo, narcisetto aroncino d'amor. Non più andrai questi bei pennacchini, quel capello leggero e galante, quella chioma, quell'aria brillante, quel vermiglio d'onesco color, quel vermiglio d'onesco color. Non più andrai quei pennacchini, quel cappello, quella chioma, quell'aria brillante. Non vedrai farfellone amoroso, notte e giorno d'intorno girando, e le mele tremano il riposo, narcisetto aroncino d'amor. E le mele tremano il riposo, narcisetto aroncino d'amor. Fra grieri può baco, grano stacchi stretto sacco, schioppo in spalla, sciabla al fianco, collo dritto, muso franco, un gran casco, un gran turbante, molto onor, poco cantante, poco cantante, poco cantante. Ed invece del fandango una magia per il fango, in montagna per valloni, con le nevi e solioni, al cangetto di tromboni, di pampari, di cannoni, che le palle tutt'onnoni all'orecchio fan fischiar. Non più andrai quei pennacchini, non più andrai quel cappello, non più andrai quella chioma, non più andrai quell'aria brillante. Non più andrai farfellone amoroso, notte e giorno d'intorno girando, e le mele tremano il riposo, narcisetto aroncino d'amor. E le mele tremano il riposo, narcisetto aroncino d'amor. Che l'obino al Vittoria, alla gloria militar, che l'obino al Vittoria, alla gloria militar, alla gloria militar, alla gloria militar.
We have many selections tonight from the Mozart opera, The Marriage of Figaro, and this next duet is one of them. This is one of the most iconic duets in the operatic repertoire, the Sull'aria duet between the Contessa and Susanna. Many of you probably will recognize this from the film The Shawshank Redemption, in which it is prominently featured. In the context of the show, the Contessa and Susanna are plotting to deceive the Count, this lecherous count who has decided that he's set his sights on Susanna, and they're going to trick him. They're going to pretend that Susanna is going to meet with him, but they're going to pull a switcheroo, and the Countess will be there instead. So they're working together to create this letter, the Contessa dictating to Susanna. We were originally going to have another one of our singers sing the role of the Contessa, but she had technical difficulties and had a hard time delivering a usable recording. So at the last minute, Joy stepped in to sing. So because Joy and Emma live in the same house, we could have some actual in-person interaction in this video. So that was an unexpected treat for us. Hope you enjoy.
Canzonetta sull'aria, sull'aria che sove firetto, firetto, questo sera spirerà, questa sera spirerà sotto i pini del boschetto, sotto i pini del boschetto, sotto i pini del boschetto, e Teresa capirà, certo, certo il capirà, certo, certo il capirà. Canzonetta sull'aria, sove firetto, stasera spirerà sotto i pini del boschetto, e Teresa certo, certo il capirà,
You've been a fool, and so have I. But come and be my wife, and let us try before we die to make some sense of life. We're neither pure nor wise nor good. We'll do the best we know. house and chop a wood and make a garden grow and make a garden grow.
I thought the world was sugar cake, for so our master said. But now I'll teach my hands to bake our loaf of daily bread. We'll neither pure nor wise nor good. We'll do the best we know. We'll build a house and chop a wood and make a garden grow and make a garden grow. Let dreamers dream what worlds they please. Those Edens can't be found. The sweetest flowers, the fairest trees are grown in solid ground. We'll neither wise nor good. We'll do the best we know. We'll build a house and chop a wood and make a garden grow and make a Pour séduire Rockman la fière, de pénétrer de son manière, je sais bien des femmes sur terre, pour qui se débrouillent aussi. Oh, 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 ne peux plus d'avoir de l'or, qu'on est effacé, je parle. Oh, 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 ne peux plus d'avoir de l'or, te connais, je parle. Oh, oh,